Please, one thing I don't want to see. Any Nigerian, no Nigerian should come and tell me that these boys did their best. No Nigerian should come and tell me that these boys did their best because they did not do anything. They did not do anything. We were drawn to the likes of Zimbabwe. We were drawn to the likes of Benin Republic. Guys, this is not funny. Is it a sin to be a Nigerian? Is it a sin? The government have been nothing to be happy about in this country. The small football we they use whole body for this country. We are not give us joy with the football. We are not give us joy. Who believe we have superstars? Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, Victor this one, everywhere, stars everywhere. We have the stars. Can we compare?
Things they happen. I will not lie to you. Yesterday, Nigeria were eliminated out of the World Cup playoffs. And guess what? Something happened on the touchline. Eric Sapuchel fighting. And he was being stopped by the Congolese manager. Apparently, it had to do with Juju, Voodoo. And guys, we are here to talk about that. And also, give our player ratings. We want to talk about individual performances of all the players that featured for Nigeria Super Eagles and rate them accordingly. So please join us as we give you this update. Let us know what you think about all this down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You can call me Ebuka, and I'm doing this video with Chanana
in the building.
So guys, quickly let's jump into it and begin with the video and also the explanation from Eric Sapuchel as to the reason why he was fighting on the touchline. This is what he said. Let's check it out.
Eric, coming towards the end of the game, I could see that you were a bit frustrated with maybe some of the DR Congo staff members. Could you give us an update on what happened there?
During all the penalty decision, a guy of Congo did some voodoo. Every time. So this is why I was a little nervous after him.
Yeah. What did you see?
Yeah, something like that. You know, with the I don't know if it's a water or something like that. You know, so I don't.
Quel est votre message?
So guys, you have seen the video, you have heard the explanation from Eric Sapuchel. What do you have to say about that? Chanana?
My brother.
What's up?
No, I do. I know they're okay, but
you are not happy.
I know they're okay,
but we still take it like that. But then, what happened yesterday? Eric Sapuchel was not happy. In fact, when he was fighting, a lot of people thought it was because they lost or something. Yeah. But he came out to explain that it was voodoo, like Juju. They were sprinkling something on them, and he did not like that fact. What do you have to say about it after listening to his explanation?
Yeah, listening to the explanation, I think what the Congolese, whether from wherever it was from, it was totally unnecessary and it's not accepted, because you can do whatever you want to do, but to go to the extent of sprinkling water on your opposition, that is where the problem is. If it were to be, maybe you are doing it on your own place, no, who cares? You understand? But for you to come to the opposition side and be doing that, that is why Eric Sapuchel was annoyed. Because maybe, let's be frank, Nigeria had their one or two things they did. But Nigeria won't go and be doing those things on the Congolese, whether it was the officials or whatever. That is where Eric Sapuchel had a problem with. For you to be sprinkling water on him or on the officials around him, that was his problem. He didn't care, because voodoo and things, we all know the spiritual aspect of football. It's very real, unless you just want to argue. But for you to go and be doing that, I think that is where he got angry. And for me, his anger is warranted. And we all know he also got eliminated. So the anger and things, he will not let some things slide. If maybe they have qualified, you have let it slide. But for them to also be eliminated, that tells you that the anger and other things will be boiling. So I support him on this one.
Right, so guys, let's hear from you concerning this. I mean, it happens in football. Juju is always in football, unless maybe you probably want to argue, as Chanana said. But then I felt like it was unnecessary. I mean, what was the essence of that? You feel me? But then let us know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Now, I want us to move away from that and talk about the ratings, individual performances from all the players that featured for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Sorry, quick question, please. You guys totally outplayed Nigeria in the second half and extra time. Did Osimhen's injury in the first half help you in any way?
I think it's not that it helps, but we know Osimhen is a big player, and if you resign him out of the team, they have a big miss in front, even though they have quality in front as well. So we knew he was their star player, and if he was out, it would be not easier, but it would be another game.
Now let's begin with Stanley Nwabali. How are you going to rate him?
I'll give him 8 over 10. Fine, even though he made 1 or 2 mistakes, but that didn't consist in a goal or something like that. So you can pardon him for that. And his heroics at the ending of the game and the penalties shows that he proved that he can still be reliable. The only thing is you have to talk to him so you stop some of those tricks and other things that he does. But apart from that, he did fairly okay.
I'm going to give him 9 over 10. The reason being that when it was time for him to step up, he stepped up. Yep, he stepped up and performed very well. So I felt like in that moment he really did his job, especially in the penalty shootout. So I'm giving him 9 over 10. Stanley Nwabali for me did very well. Centre backs Semi Ajayi and also Calvin Bassey. How would you rate both of them?
I'll give Calvin Bassey was very solid in the game. The only thing is he missed the penalty. So I'm going to give him 8 over 10, and Sami Ajayi, I'll give him 5 over 10. It was average. I didn't know whether because he didn't play the first game and it was a bit jittery and shaky, and we all know it was one of the reasons why those goals happen. Even though you can't fault him direct, but it's loose marking that enabled the player to cross the ball and other things happen. So, and he also went and played a John Mensah-like penalty. You don't have technique and other things, then you go and stand in front of the ball. How can you move? Those who can't play penalty, sometimes you see David Luiz, he goes back and runs to the ball. The keeper is confused. Unless you have technique, that's when you come closer to the ball because you know you have the technique.
He was even showing direction.
That's what I'm saying. The type of what you do, you show direction. So if you don't have technique, why are you going to do that? You can't play. Tell the coach that this shows that they didn't train for penalties. Because if they are trained, there is no way someone will go and stand here and be playing this type of penalty.
Because definitely Nwabali would have. Because the way Nwabali was saving, trust me, if they had trained for penalties, they would have known their penalty takers already.
He played 6 penalties. He just missed one direction. He followed all the directions. That should tell that Nwabali did very well. So if you have a goalkeeper who can save you 2 penalties out of the first 5, and you go and be doing this.
And it was both of them that missed their penalties. It was very sad.
We'll come to them.
So guys, you heard from Chadada. I'm just going to give both of them 6.5 over 10. Now, when I say both of them, I mean, first of all, the goal Nigeria conceded, I believe it was preventable. First of all, from Semi Ajayi, he could have closed down a bit too close to the player just to prevent him from crossing that ball. So first of all, that was his mistake. Secondly, the penalty, I felt like he should have done better. Same for Calvin Bassey. He had a pretty much good game in that, but then when it mattered the most, that penalty, he really disappointed. He was the first penalty taker. That's why I'm giving him also 6.5. When the first penalty taker does not score, it disrupts the whole rhythm, and that is where I have a problem with. But then guys, let us know what you think about the rating down below in the comments. Let's talk about the fullbacks, right back, left back. Benjamin Fredericks.
I'll give him 9.5 over 10. Again, that guy proves that Charlie, whoever scouted him or brought him to the team
did a good job.
Did a very good job, because that guy, see, we've not seen him put a foot wrong when he started playing for Nigeria till now. And on the day you saw him, see, the wingers were changing, but still,
both
he was able to contain anybody. But still, he was able to contain them and did perfectly well. You hardly pass him by, and when you lose the ball, he knows how to recover properly and other stuff. He was almost everywhere on the right flanking, without being defense in attack. That guy just did very well. And Zaidu Sanusi, so far, his performance for Nigeria has been very good. Even though this game didn't give any exceptional display, it was okay. You can't fault him for anything that happened in the game. He did very well. So for him, I'll give him 7 over 10.
So same for Benjamin Fredericks. I agree with you 100%. He was good on the day, performed very well, so he deserves that rating. For Zaidu Sanusi, I believe that pretty much in that game he was good. He performed some of the essential things I like to see a modern day left back do going forward, throwing some few crosses, overlapping here and there, but it was still not enough to even create a chance or probably help, Nigeria. And I felt like in the game he got tired. That's why he got replaced and Bruno Onyemaechi came in. But then I'm going to still go with your rating. I agree with you on that. Now let's move away from that and go to the midfield. Let's start with Ndidi.
Today he didn't come to the party at all. He was just nowhere to be found. I don't know whether because it's like this game, he realized that he was limited. The coach gave him a special instruction.
He was too deep.
Yeah, it was too deep. He wasn't going forward like against the Gabonese team and all that thing. So maybe I think that was the reason why he didn't perform that well. But it was okay, and we all know it was the main reason why Nigeria considered the goal based on that mistake. But sometimes that's part of football.
Yeah.
You understand? So you don't come and hold this neck like because you also the other game did very well. So sometimes that's an update. Even though we expected him to do very, very well on this particular game, but always part of the game. So for that, I'll give him a 6/10.
I agree with you. I feel like aside from that mistake that led to the goal, he pretty much played that game pretty much well. And also when that chance came and he had that confusion with Chukwueze, I felt like they should have communicated a bit. But in that game, he was restricted a bit because he was sitting deep. He was more or less like the first line of defense before you even get to the center backs. But it is what it is. So I'll go with that same rating. Alex Iwobi.
Alex Iwobi, these 2 games he has been poor. He didn't exert himself in the game like we used to. The way Alex Iwobi bossing things around in the midfield. He was just playing. So I will just give him an average of 5/10.
So I'm going to give Alex Iwobi a 6/10, an average score or probably above average, just because Alex Iwobi in the midfield, in certain times I felt like he made some good moves, but the only thing I did not like about his game yesterday was he was getting dispossessed
He gave the ball away too many times.
Giving the ball too many times, and one led to that particular
goal.
So for me, I'm going to give him 6/10.
That's why I give him 5.
Now let's go to Frank Onyeka. He scored the goal.
I think I'll give him 8/10. He was very robust, did very well, and we all know. I think he played the full 90 or substituted.
No, he played the full 90.
Then 120. He did very well. And you all know the pressure. The second half to the extra time, there was always pressure, but they did very well to support the defense or make the defense a bit harder to penetrate. And they were one of the reasons why Congo couldn't score in the full 120 minutes. So I'm giving him an 8/10 because for the 3 of the midfielders, he was the one. And he also got the goal for Nigeria, so that will elevate him a lot. So I'm giving him 8/10.
I'm going to give him 9/10. My reason is the 2 games, every time he came in, solid performance, especially yesterday. Look at that goal he scored. After that, how many players would you see attempted shots from outside? After that, it was only one person. Indeed, you get my point. They were not attempting shots. It's as if they were afraid to do that, but he did that and it led to a goal. Scoring a goal alone for me in such a crucial game gives you a lot of mark. And in the middle of the pitch, he was doing the elementary things. Both tackles, interception, blocks. He was just doing everything, slowing the Congolese, their game plan down. He was doing. I liked it so much. So for me, he gets my full 9, like a very strong 9. Onyeka really did very well in that game. Let's move on to the forwards. Let's begin with Lookman.
Look, I'll give him 5/10. I hate nonsense because he was just poor. The only essential thing he did was that chance he created. That's all. Everything about Lookman was just flat, nothing. Sometimes lost the ball, lack of creativity and other things. He realized that the guy is lacking match fitness. That is the thing. He's not coming here and sugarcoat things and no, he didn't play well. That it was that bad. So I'm giving him 5/10.
I'm going to agree with you, 5/10. I really did not enjoy his game. I felt like he was confused in the game, probably most part of the first half. He did not understand the kind of role he was supposed to play in the team, because it's like you are supposed to create. He created one chance and I was like, okay, this is what I want you to do. Do it consistently in the game. I only did it once and that was all. So I'm going to go with you the same way. For Chukwueze, who is the next person?
The same thing. The same car brought them on that game. They were confused with each other. You see them getting to each other's way and all that stuff. I didn't know what was happening. Fine. The first game they played as a double number 10, which was, but I believe that as they are playing more, they should have understood themselves better. I realized that they were just getting in the way of each other and other things. So they lost a lot of balls. They are one of the players, Lukman, Chukwueze, and Iwobi, the 3 of them, they lost a lot of balls.
And I felt like it was the reason why Nigeria did not get a lot of chances created, because if you are looking at those 3, they are the most creative players in the team.
Yeah.
And guess what? They were not even doing anything to help the team, especially when it comes to creating chances or helping the team score goals. So for me, that's where the problem came from. Victor Osimhen.
He played just the first half. First time.
You can't even fault him that
You
much.
can't fault him that much. He did what he was supposed to do as a number 9 because you don't know he didn't get even one service, and it was the reason why that chance was created from Lookman because the defenders followed him and he left space behind him. Lookman gave the ball behind him. Those two people, I didn't know what they were thinking and they miscommunicated and spammed the chance away. So with Osimhen, he just played the first half. So I think 6/10 will be a fair rating because he just played only 45 minutes. So 45 minutes, I think 6/10 will be okay.
I'm going to give him a fair 7. The reason being that even the goal that was scored, still the defenders were still after him.
Yeah.
That even gave chance for Onyeka to even strike the ball from that distance because the attention was on Osimhen. When Osimhen was in the game, the Congolese, they couldn't dare come forward because they know that when they come, there is trouble. And if you listen to them, their whole game plan was around Osimhen. They knew that if they were able to keep Osimhen out, then they would have won the game. And I felt like Osimhen was a bigger threat. Even though he was not getting on the ball, what he did off the ball really helped Nigeria in that game. Because when he went out, the likes of Wan-Bissaka were in the 18-yard box of Nigeria. Wan-Bissaka was literally playing like some prime
number 7.
Look, it's serious, but I'm going to give Osimhen 7 just because of presence. His presence in the game, I'm giving him a 7. Now, let's talk about the substitutes that came into the game. Aqua Adams are and
you can't blame him because they didn't get any service to feed on. So when you have a striker in the nature of Aqua Adams and you can't give him passes, it's not the type that can come and take the ball and dribble. So if you can't give him service, you always find that he was always withdrawn, always in the center circle instead of him being
falling deep together.
Yes, instead of him being up front, he was always in the center circle. And what can a striker do when he's in the center circle? Close to 0. So I'll give him 5/10.
I'm going to give him a 6. I'm just going to add one more because he scored a penalty.
Okay.
Yeah, at least the penalty, when they were missing it, he at least scored his.
Yes.
So for me, I'm going to give him a 6/10. Educate, he
came, he was just, today was flat and you can't blame him because he wouldn't get a lot of balls. All the time, got the ball in his own area. So he was trying to drive.
And there was no numbers forward.
Sometimes one game, a God was going, and you realized nobody. So he wanted to go all the way and he was dispossessed.
Nigeria was there were no players forward.
So for that one, they just limited the guy. So he ended up do too much, and you can't dribble the whole park. So that's why he lost the ball a lot of time because he was doing too much because there was nobody to support him. Because when you get the ball, he has to beat about 2 or 3 players before he can create anything. And we all know beating 2 or 3 players it's not easy. Because Congolese had the confidence and they grew in the game.
They even had physicality. They were strong.
They were confident that no, this is our time, and they really took that.
So Educate, I'm going to give Educate 5. I think average performance.
Yeah, average.
Yeah. Moses Simon, I'm giving him a 4/10. I'm not even changing it.
They give 2 ratings.
You go and spoil a penalty. That penalty alone pains me a lot.
The way he played the penalty.
As a forward, for the defenders, I'm going to pardon them. By forward,
as a forward.
Oh, come on.
Somebody who is adept in scoring goals. You know how to score goals. And you go and play a penalty
straight
like this of this magnitude of a game.
No direction.
Moses Simon.
No, 4/10.
Oh yeah, you fall our hand totally.
And there was one time he had the ball. I was hoping that at least do something. It went straight and it took.
Moses Simon.
Oh,
these 2 games there, Charlie.
He really disappointed. Tolu Arokudare. I'm not blaming him.
And you see, sometimes I believe it's not on form too. So sometimes, you see, sometimes the form is very essential. It's not on form because it's not that on form playing regularly like when he was at Genk, playing and scoring goals and stuff. So that affected his performance a bit. So you realize that it's a bit slower, not sharper like we used to be. He also when he started playing for Nigeria, he was much more sharper than this.
And you know one thing I noticed when he came in, he lacked that physical presence. You know, when Osimhen is in the game, you the defender, you be afraid. But when Tolu was in the game, he was there, but the defenders were in Nigeria's own half. Like they did not even see him. They didn't see him as a threat. That's the thing. He lacked that presence, and I felt like the way Osimhen was trying to even press, he was not even doing. He doesn't press, but I'm going to give him a 5/10 average because he also came no services.
No service.
Yeah, so
even for them that much.
The last two they came later in the game. I'm also going to give them 5/10. Bruno Onyemechi and Awanziem, they came late in the game.
They don't even have any ratings.
Yeah,
because that time when you come there, what can we see?
Congo were already dominating the game when they came in. And really,
so Awanziem, what was the purpose of the change of Awanziem if you will not play a
penalty?
Because when you are in extra time and you are changing, you have to change with the intention
of penalty
because you are not leading the game.
And you know when he came in, 115 minutes. That's like 5 minutes to the end of the game.
Oh, for that, that's the reason why
it should be trusted.
That's why we were saying that Nigeria didn't plan for penalty. It was clear what they did, and the man showed that they didn't plan for penalty because if you are making a change 115 minutes and the game is still 1-1, and you leave your number one penalty taker still on the bench. And he's also a defender, so he can come and play at where Awanziem will come and play. Just come and do something and wait for the time to go.
It would have prevented someone like Ida Calvin Basso or Semia
from playing because none of them, they are both defenders. One will not play.
Yep.
Ajayi.
Guys, we have finished rating the players. Let's rate the coach himself. How would you rate the coach in that game?
You can't blame the coach that much because sometimes the game you realize that everything about Nigeria is disintegrated, and this problem that Nigeria can't play without Osimhen, it's not the coach's fault. It's not coming to, you all know, we just have limited time now, and this started from the qualifier. The first 3 games Osimhen didn't play. I'm sure that's the main reason Nigeria couldn't qualify. Because that first 3 games, they lost 1 and they drew 2. So that should tell that without Osimhen, Nigeria has to find a winning formula because it can happen 1 or 2 times. And look at what happened. Just the second half, and they couldn't even stand it. So we are begging them, they should find a formula. Eric Shekusha, the boy is in your court now. We are the coach now. So find a winning formula without Victor Osimhen. Because we have equally good forest too. Even though they are not good as Osimhen, but you can find a winning formula without Osimhen. So I'll give him a 7/10.
Alright, so I'm just going to agree with you on that. You can't blame him too much. When he took on the job, it was first an impossible job, but he made sure he brought it to a level where we all had belief, we all had hope that Nigeria could qualify. But as of yesterday, if you want to base it on yesterday's performance, then I'm going to give him a 5/10. Now the reason why I'm saying this is that when the Congolese, after Nigeria scored, when the Congolese took over the game, I was hoping that he would have tweaked something a bit in the system, the tactics, the way they played. But nothing tweaked. The whole first half, if you realize, Nigeria were basically passerbys in the game. Nothing. And I felt like he was too predictable in the game. Guess what? He takes out Victor Osimhen, and literally Nigeria were completely flat. So for me, you are too predictable. You know, if you are taking Osimhen out, just tweak the system. Do it in such a way that even if you are going to play a counter-attacking game, then we know you are going to play a counter-attacking game. But it looked like you were playing the same thing without your talisman. And you all know without a talisman, that system, that whole format does not work. So that's why I feel like the points will be taken away from him. Not only that, the changes too. I feel like the changes did not impact the game in any way. And the penalty issue too, as you raised, Awanziem's substitution.
What was it for?
It was not because I felt like if you see your challenge, like your competition, bring in a goalkeeper, getting to the end of the game for just penalties, it should kick something in you to also make a change. You understand my point? So for me, it looked like look,
Onyemechi change was okay because he came and played a penalty.
Like for like.
And he scored.
It's a like for like team. It even makes sense.
He played a penalty.
Yeah, he played and scored.
So no problem.
Awanziem was not playing penalty. Just bring
trust the con. Because the game was telling you clearly that it was heading towards penalty. Because 150 minutes there, I thought that the game was almost going to penalty.
It was as if he wanted Awanziem to get like some game minutes in the game.
It's not necessary.
So for me, I'm going to give him a 5 because I did not like the coaching style on the day. I felt like they lacked ideas. Eric Shekusha just lacked ideas on that day. Yes, the players were overwhelming, but sometimes if the players are overwhelming like that, it needs a coach to just tweak the system a bit, like do things, change 1 or 2 things, formation, move players here and there. You see Manchester United, even if it's in dying times, Maguire is striker.
No,
Sometimes you just take risks.
Then you start floating.
You start floating the balls. You see, like, look, the coach, I felt like as much as he did well, he needs to find a way to win games, find a tactics, find a formation to win games without osimhen. They need a style to win games without osimhen. As simple as that. But then, guys, we are going to end it here. Let us know your thoughts about all this down below in the comments. Thanks for joining us. My name is Adam. You can call me Ebuka. I did this video with Chanana. You're not in the good. So, guys, we'll make sure to see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.